community. A sociologist would most likely explain this, explaining social and economic, social and economic equality, a Buddhist monastery, organized community health and campaign and educational program. A Buddhist monastery organized, a Buddhist monastery organized community, a Buddhist monastery organized community, a Buddhist monastery organized a community health campaign and educational program. Sociologically, this demonstrate Sangha function if a community experiences conflict due to the unequal access to resources, if a community experiences increasing conflict due to unequal access to resources, which perspective will best analyze the situation? Conflict perspective, functional perspective, biological perspective, functional conflict. A sociologist studying migration, a sociologist studying migration from rural Nepal to city. Rural Nepal, a sociologist studying migration from rural Nepal to city would like focus on economic opportunity and social change. Which example best demonstrate interdependence of individual and society, social non-influence behavior, and which individual contribute to social change. Social norm influence behavior will individual contribute to social change. A village development, a village development project also because local participate in decision making, the illustrate a community based on social development, a community social installation, a community. Local resident decision making is illustrate this mainly because a social structure and cultural belief which which situation best reflect the Buddhist principle of collective well, uh, which situation best reflected the Buddhist principle of collective well-being. Community member working together to support vulnerable families. Community members working together to support vulnerable families. Individual competing for personal gain. Individual competing for personal gain. Social exclusion of minority. Social exclusion of minority. Social resource. Sociology. Community member working together to support vulnerable families. A sociology analyzing gender. A sociologist analyzing gender inequality. A sociologist analyzing gender inequality in Nepal. Inequality in Nepal. will most likely investigate. A sociologist analyzing in Nepal will most likely investigate social norm issues in situation. Uh, sociologist generally consider. Social norm is a student agrees the poverty is only because people do not work and in odds society what is for the impaging the Sangha. The Sangha can contribute to social work practices. I student of the poverty is only because people do not work hard enough. A sociologist will respond by impaging social factor affecting opportunities. Individual effort as the sole causes, biological causes, natural disaster only. The Sangha can contribute to social work practices. The Sangha can contribute to social work practice by he. The Sangha can contribute to social work practice by promoting. The Sangha can contribute to social work practice, promoting cooperation, compassion, and community support. Which example best reflect a sociology analysis? Which example best reflect sociological analysis? Which example best reflect sociological analysis? Example how family background influence. How family background influence education. How family background influence educational achievement. A sociologist studying social harmony. A sociologist social harmony would most likely investigate. A sociologist studying social harmony would most likely investigate. So like in value norm and community cooperation, value norm and community cooperation, value norms and community cooperation. Which statement based? Which statement based? Which statement based? And social. Which statement best integrates sociology, Buddhism, and social work? Social well-being depends on cooperation. Social well-being on cooperation, compassion, and understanding social condition. A community project inspired by Buddhist. A community project inspired by Buddhist teaching, successful research, local conflict, broad dialogue, and participation.